I hate dating apps, and this story proves why we should all abstain from them. My date was a catfish and a total loser who pretended to be someone else in order to entice me in. Last month, I matched with a really cute guy on a dating app. He was funny, handsome, and seemed to be smart, but nothing prepared me for what I saw when we finally met up in person. I was always nervous about using dating apps. The idea always seemed vapid, and for months it was, until Mr. Right hit me up. Tall and chiseled, Ben had strawberry blonde hair and green eyes, and not only did he look like Thor, and he was a vet, which made him so much hotter. We hit it off straight away, but it felt too familiar because we had so much in common, had the same sense of humor, and enjoyed the same hobbies. I was trying to work out the catch, but I couldn't seem to find one. I tried asking him controversial questions about politics or if he had any hot takes on feminism, but every answer was totally agreeable to me. I started to get annoyed because it was all too easy. There had to be something that he wasn't telling me. I decided to put an end to this investigation once and for all, so I invited him to dinner last Friday and he agreed to it. We booked a table for 7 p.m. in my town, which I thought was weird because he told me he lives miles away from me. In the lead up to the date, we were flirting like crazy and it started to get intimate. I didn't send him any pics, but I did send voice notes and he did it back. His voice was so hot, deep and husky. I finally started to get excited that maybe he was going to be the one. He asked for my home address, which I wasn't going to give him, but instead asked me why, and he told me,
"Because I want to send you flowers before the date."
Still unsure, I gave him a street name nearby and told him to leave them by a letterbox. Sure enough, the day before our date, there was a huge bouquet of yellow roses waiting for me with a small note saying, "I can't wait to see you. BX. Fast forward to the restaurant, and I sat nervously at the table. I heard a throat clear, and there stood in front of me was a tall, brunette man wearing glasses. He looked kind of familiar, but I wasn't sure where I knew him from. I stood up and asked if I could help.
"Rosie, I'm Hugh."
Puzzled, I said, "Hi Hugh, do you need help with anything?" And he went on to tell me that my date had to leave and deal with a family emergency, so he sent in his friend to tell me and offer to pay for dinner for us both.
"We might as well stay and let him pay. I'm sorry he let you down."
After the longest 40 minutes of my life, I left the restaurant totally confused. I had tried to ask Hugh questions about my date and why he didn't tell me himself, but I wasn't getting a straight answer. In fact, Hugh was extremely quiet. I even texted my date and asked what had happened, but he ghosted me. I now call him the Phantom Menace. Hugh messaged me, and I begrudgingly answered because he made the effort to keep me company while I beached about Ben. He said that Ben wanted to see me again but that his phone was broken, so Hugh would sort it for him. I was suspicious, but I allowed Hugh to organize a date. Once again, I turned up. There was Hugh and no Ben. It had to be a joke. After dinner, Hugh walked me to the train station and made his confession. There was no Ben. Ben was a work of fiction for Hugh to hide behind. Hugh said that he really liked me and hoped that if Ben kept letting me down, and he kept saving the day, in pursuit of me, that eventually I would catch feelings. I was horrified and quickly walked away, but then he followed me onto the dark platform and